These are not real. Should I react to these? Fortnite horror stories? Alright, y'all, bro. 3 horrific stories that happened while playing Fortnite. I almost touched my ball skin. 3 horrific stories that happened while playing Fortnite. No way, bro. Make sure my greets me good. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Are we good? We good? Wait, stop. I just wanna like make sure my camera's good, bro. I don't want us to be hooked up. I kissed the girl and I liked it. I only had one kiss. I get no bitches. Story one. James Manfield, and then I didn't see the other ones. I saw A, saw Vinky, and that's it.
I'm sure by now we all know what Fortnite is.
Fortnite Battle
I had known about it for the longest time, but I never actually played it until my friends basically forced me to download it and play with them. They wanted to play in squads, which is what it's called when you play in groups of 4. My 4 friends were Evan, Xavier, and Braxton. Evan was hands down the best player and basically the initiator of this group match. Xavier was the second best. Then there was Braxton. Braxton only spoke on his headset when he was in trouble or needed help. Evan, Xavier, and I, on the other hand, just goofed around and talked the whole time. The 2 of them did their best to explain how to play to me over the headset. Anyway, none of this really matters. I'll skip ahead to the important part. Evan stopped talking, and there was a good 10 seconds of silence. Then, Evan, who was leading us from one point to another, stopped dead in his tracks. His character just stood still for a while. Xavier turned on his headset, sounding annoyed, telling Evan to move. His character still just stood in place, and Evan said nothing, but according to the screen,
oh no, he put the controller down.
Evan's mic was making noise. Then I could hear background noise that seemed to be coming from Evan's mic.
That's what's about to happen.
Xavier, Braxton, and I were all telling Evan to move or we'd ditch him.
He's about to get his ass beat.
But we all dropped silent when a horrific, almost painfully loud screaming came from Evan's mic.
He's getting whooped. Yeah, okay, chill. He's getting whooped.
It wasn't like he was screaming into the mic. It seemed like Evan was somewhere in the background of the room. Then, a door slammed shut in the background, and the 3 of us were left not knowing what to say or do.
He just got murdered.
I told the 2 of them I'd call Evan immediately, and turned off the console.
Did he just get
tried calling him 5 times, he never picked up though, so I decided to drive over to his house, which was 2 minutes away.
They friends.
I got to his house and saw no cars in the driveway, but the front door was open and the lights were on throughout the house. I let myself in, screaming Evan's name. Evan screamed back from somewhere.
This is kind of crazy, bro. What? Y'all just went into his house for the free skis for that?
I followed the sound of his voice right up.
Bro, y'all must be good ass friends, bro. I'm getting backdoored if I let my homie in the house like that.
To the loft bedroom, where I found him hiding under the bed. He told me to hide. I told him to get out from under the bed and tell me what happened. He said there was someone in his bedroom. He would speak in very limited sentences for the longest time, until he calmed down and would finally explain in detail. As Evan was playing Fortnite with us, he felt a tap under his bed. He pulled the cloth material that covered the sides of the bed up and looked under the bed, and saw a grown man hiding underneath. That's when he threw his headset on the bed and screamed as he backed into the corner. He says the man emerged from under the bed as Evan was still paralyzed in fear in the corner, screaming. Then the man walked straight out the bedroom door, and that was the last we ever saw of him. At that moment, he didn't know if the man was still in the house or not, so we called the cops, not knowing what else to do. When they showed up, we didn't know what to expect from them. 2 cops actually showed up. The male officer went inside of the house and looked around, while the female officer stayed with us outside with a small pocket notebook in her hand, writing down what Evan described to her. And just like that, the cops left. They stayed over Evan's house that night just to make him feel better. We all still play Fortnite together. I'm much better now.
What is the excuse me. Why do you have to add that? No.
We all still play Fortnite together.
I'm much better
now.
I'm much better. Come on, bro. Yo, you're such a dumbass. Except I'm much better. No way.
I've never been a huge Fortnite person, but all my friends have been for a while. I always feel like I'm being left out when they're saying to jump on Fortnite and such. Yeah, I've played the game a few times and I get the gist of the gameplay and whatnot. I'm just not good at the game. So one Monday night, I hopped on the game and played alone just to practice. I did that over and over and over, until I started actually getting pretty decent at the game. Then I started to play the game with other players, not my friends, just random people online. I played a game of duos, meaning with one other person on my team. His gamer tag was Bob Rocket 16 or something like that, with a few extra C's and E's or whatever. I didn't write it down.
They're saying Bob Rocket 16 so you can actually find the original game, so it doesn't like go to a random rack. The story has to be fake. There's no way it's real.
We lost the game. Think we ranked like number 20. After the game was over, I got a personal message from the guy saying he thought I was really good and that we should play again.
PS4. This is a PS4
it was weird
story, not Fortnite.
Really, I didn't play too well at all that game. Nevertheless, I played another game with him. This time he turned on his microphone and was trying to talk to me. I don't have a gaming microphone, so I couldn't talk back. I could only hear.
This was before the PS5, so it's PS4. So basically, like they had. Wait, he didn't even have a headset on, probably. So there's just TV speakers, so he couldn't even talk back. Right now, the PS5, like you could just talk to the controller and it'll talk, and you could mute it from there. It's fucking crazy.
Hear him through the TV speakers. Based on his tone and what he was saying, he seemed to be getting annoyed that I wasn't talking to him. I heard him say things like, "Put your mic on and stop being a faggot."
Bro, this dude doesn't have a mic, and he's gonna call a ragged for that. Bro. Like, what, bro? What?
Any thought of this guy being cool was gone at this point, and I thought he was just a straight-up douche.
Like,
I was gonna finish the game, but after that, that was it with this guy. He kept saying stuff, most of it incoherent simply because of my distance to the TV and the noise of the actual game itself. But then I heard him say my name. Not just my first name, my full name. When I heard this, I panicked and thought to myself, wait, is my real name displayed on my profile?
Could add you as close friend.
I realized, no, it couldn't be.
Oh, you're done.
The guy kept saying things over the mic, but I wasn't listening at this point. I went over to the console and turned it off in a panic. Just knowing...
Bro, why do they be doing that? Just press freaking start and press leave game.
The sound of the guy's voice was gone now made me sigh in relief. I texted my friends and told them about it. They all seemed to think it was funny, typing their LOLs and LMAOs and whatnot.
That's fucked up.
I put my phone down on the desk as I went on my laptop. The phone vibrated again. I expected it to be one of my friends, but it was an unknown number. The message was hi, and then my full name. I typed back, "Who is this?" The typing bubbles with the 3 dots came up for the longest time. I waited anxiously to see what this person was going to say. The message was, "Is this your address?" And then my actual address.
No way.
I once again typed, "Who is this?" And then I lied and typed, "No, that isn't my address." The person never responded after that.
That's Pat guy.
I started accusing my friends of fucking with me. They all swore they had nothing to do with it though. Low-key, I didn't believe them, but I didn't bother feeding into it. I figured if it is them, the more reaction I give, the more kicks they get out of it. I went to bed ignoring my friends.
Gotta wake up with them standing over you. Stop.
I woke up to something. I was almost positive I heard a noise. You know how sometimes a sound will wake you up, but you don't know what the sound was because you weren't awake yet to hear it?
Yeah.
Well, that was me at this moment. I sat up looking around my room as anyone naturally would.
You sleeping in the dining room?
My whole body jerked in startlement as there was a set of knocks on my window. Instead of looking to see who was out there like a man, I ran like a coward out of my room and to the nearest bathroom where I locked myself. Was out there like a man. I ran like a coward out of my room and to the nearest bathroom where I locked myself in.
Okay, now I'm locking it.
There were no windows in that bathroom, so I felt safe. I actually fell asleep in that bathroom, and when I woke up, I texted my friends again, telling them all to go fuck themselves. They all got a kick out of it, but when I saw them in person, they seemed pretty genuine when they told me they had nothing to do with it. To this day, I really don't know if my friends were pranking me, or if that guy who I was playing Fortnite with actually somehow got my information.
I mean, he obviously said your name, like, dude, you have to have had your shit. That was Pat guy.
My 10-year-old son Chris had been playing that Fortnite game all day, every day for the past few months. and it had been driving me insane. I would scream at him to go out once in a while. Instead, all I heard was that sound of that bus honking its horn every 10 minutes and constant gunshots coming from his room. Eventually one night at like 9 p.m., Chris came out of his room and shouted out to the kitchen that he was having someone over. I angrily asked him who. He said, some guy from FORTNITE who lives around here. A fuse went off in my head as I heard this. Apparently, he invited over some random person.
Yo, bro, I'm not gonna tell my kids my address. I don't think, or something, bro. Well, I'm just gonna make sure my kid's not stupid, bro.
He was talking to on FORTNITE.
Bro, you with that ass?
When I asked him how old, Chris shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't know, he sounds kind of old. I started to freak out, knowing some random stranger who was probably well older than my 10-year-old son was coming to my house. I locked all the doors and turned on all the porch lights. I told Chris to just keep playing his game in his room and not to talk to anyone else. I waited around by the windows until a car pulled up in front of my house. It stopped and the headlights turned off.
Stupid ass kid.
The door opened, someone came out and started walking up the pathway to my front door. I felt like my heart dropped into my stomach when I saw some middle-aged man, probably 40, mildly overweight, step into the light and then up the stairs to the front door. He rang the bell 3 times. I ignored it. Then he started pounding on the door for a bit.
Yeah, just get a knife from the kitchen.
I ignored that as well. He walked down the street, looking up through the windows as he walked down the pathway. I made sure he couldn't see me. I thought for sure he'd go to his car and leave, but he went around to the side of my house, out of sight from the windows. He was actually going to my back door. I heard from around back the door being nudged, as he clearly tried to open it.
It's locked, okay.
I stayed put where I was. There were no other entry points to the house, so once he gave up, he would surely leave. When the noises from the back door stopped, I waited for 5 minutes in the kitchen, until I thought it was time to check. I wanted to hopefully get a look outside, so I shut the lights and lifted the blinds in the kitchen. There was the man's face, 2 inches from the glass, as he looked into the kitchen, or rather, he now looked at me. I screamed with a shake in my ear. I was calling the cops.
You are
I think that scared him off because he walked away. I watched as he got in his car and left.
Did you get his ID?
Instead, I marched right to Chris's room and scolded him. I grounded him for 2 weeks for endangering not only the household, but himself. That meant no video games for 2 weeks, and after the 2 weeks, he would have to go 2 months without access to his wireless headset.
Sorry.
Now that the 2 weeks are up, he's back on the game.
Crazy.
I get sick to my stomach thinking about what would have happened if I wasn't home.
That's what I'm saying, you real stupid ass kids. Alright, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. So I'm about to go play Granny.